Antalya, the fifth most populous city in Turkey and the most visited summertime destination of the Turkish Riviera, borders the Taurus Mountains and rests along the Mediterranean coast. Antalya was first settled around 200 BC by the Attalid dynasty of Pergamon, which was subdued by the Romans shortly after. Antalya thrived under Roman rule and saw the construction of several new monuments, such as Hadrian's Gate, which you'll see later in this video. While Antalya is peaceful, can be relaxing, kind of reminds you of the classic idea of the Mediterranean vacation, it also has, to my surprise, a magical nightlife where you feel like there's something on every corner for you. You'll hear live music, you'll see people walk around enjoying themselves. It's definitely a place where you can go as a couple, go alone, go with kids. I just think it's a place for anybody. One of the first things you need to do is definitely to go to the old port. You'll see, of course, the ancient walls. You'll see people selling food, whether it's corn or mussels that are fresh, just caught from the sea, that you put lemon on, and usually they're stuffed with a little bit of rice. Absolutely phenomenal. Antalya, there's definitely no shortage of great food and great bars and amazing places to see at night and during the day, of course. But we ended up going to Korikos, which is actually within the walls overlooking the port. So we liked sort of that rustic setting. This particular night, of course, the moon was just stunning, so we enjoyed that. You could feel the breeze blowing through. I'd just say, if you get the chance to go to Turkey during the summer, it's definitely a can't miss experience. The other thing we did is we ended up sort of, never tried this, but mixing pina coladas and coffee, actually, and it totally worked. Enough time in Antalya that this trip, at least this section of it, was actually pretty laid back. We were able to get some work done and still enjoy a lot of the scenery. It's definitely a place I'd want to spend even more time in, and I will be going back for sure. But in Antalya, there are a ton of really beautiful sites. One of the most famous is actually Hadrian's Gate. So it's named after the Roman Emperor Hadrian, who visited the city in the year 130. Hadrian's Gate is actually the only remaining entrance gate to the walls that surround the city and the harbor. So it consists of two colonnaded facades, 3 entry arches rising above 4 pylons, and a tower on each side. It's nearly 30 feet tall and is considered Pamphilia's most majestic gate. The upper part of the gate has 3 apertures in the shape of a cupola, and except for the granite pillars, the rest is made completely of white marble. The original gate has 2 stories, and it's believed that the top story held statues of the emperor and his family. Part of the reason Hadrian's Gate is so well preserved is because the city walls enclosed the outside of the gate for many years, and it wasn't restored until 1959. As a bonus, while you're at Hadrian's Gate, make sure to get photos it's a perfect place for Instagram or TikTok or whatever your platform is. So if you're a content creator or you're just looking for a pure vacation, definitely make sure this is one of your pit stops.
Yummy, right?
It is yummy, huh? So we got the kids ice cream to make sure they'd have plenty of energy for the next day, seeing as we were going to see Perge or Perga, as you'll see here in a second. So originally this was going to be about Perge the city, but I think in a way this turned into a documentary about the most adorable kitten maybe I've ever seen, as you'll see in a sec. But the little background, Perge was once an important city of Pamphylia, located between the rivers Sestras and Cataractes. Oh my goodness, I probably butchered that. I'm doing my best here, guys. The city gained renown for the worship of Artemis, whose temple stood on a hill outside the town. So in honor of the city that we found him in, we decided to name this beautiful, beautiful little kitty that we found at the ancient site Perge. Christelle's decided she's stealing him, so that's that. I guess he's ours now. According to the Acts of the Apostles, St. Paul journeyed to Persia before continuing on to Antioch and eventually returning to Persia, where he preached the word of God. Paul and Barnabas also came to Persia during their first missionary journey, but likely stayed a brief time and did not seem to have preached here until Paul's return from Syria. Today, Perge is a popular tourist attraction and archaeological site. Its ruins include a theater, 2 churches, and a temple of Artemis, not to be confused with the famed but completely destroyed temple near Ephesus. Perge is also famous for the stunning mosaics that have been unearthed here. Thoughts on Perge? I don't know. I'm trying here. And also our new cat, Perge. Wow. Yep, the cat has definitely become the star of the show. Absolutely. really running out of ideas on how we were going to smuggle the kitten out of the country back to Lebanon. We ended up going to Aspendos Theatre, which is a very short drive away from Perge. So the city of Aspendos derived great wealth from trading, salt, wool, and oil. However, it was never an important political force. What Aspendos is known for is having the best preserved theater of antiquity, as you see here, with a diameter of 96 meters or 315 feet and seating for 12,000 people. A small section of the theater was built leaning against the hill where the Acropolis stood to keep with Hellenistic traditions, while the rest was built on vaulted arches. The high stage, whose supporting columns are still erect, was designed to isolate the audience from the rest of the world. The backdrop has also remained intact. In the upper level of the theater, post holes for 58 masts can be found, which would have supported an awning to give the audience shade. The design of the theater is perfectly optimized to amplify sound. The acoustics are so incredible here that you feel you could whisper and hear an echo. That's why even now, to this day, concerts are still held here. The Aspendos International Opera and Ballet Festival offers an annual season of productions in the spring and early summer, with the participation of opera and ballet companies and a roughly 10,000 person audience. Fun fact, the famed singer Dalida held her last concert at the Aspendos Theatre on April 28, 1987. So the final stop they ended up was at Mermerle. It's a restaurant that was very near the old harbor and also very near our hotel. I had the octopus with lemon on it, absolutely amazing. The views were stunning, so ambience 10 out of 10. This is just a really remarkable place, and Antalya as a whole I would highly recommend. You can make this a short trip, however I'd also really recommend taking a week or longer just because there's so much to see and do, and you're going to want time to enjoy the beaches. Thanks for coming along with us on virtual trip to Antalya and Perge and Aspendos Theatre, and I hope that you'll be along with us in the future, so please like and subscribe.